Welcome back to this second part of this session on Will You Make a Profit? We trust that you've come prepared, so let's get to it. Did you make an effort to come up with the formulas that we asked you to look at on your own? Be honest now. The only way to learn math is by doing math. In the following series of slides, we will develop a formula to make each of the calculations we've just been discussing. So bring your A game. Also bring a scrap piece of paper, pencil, eraser, a calculator, and some coffee, or at least lemonade. Earlier, we were talking about calculating the unit cost of ingredients. Now, before, we said that for 25 cups, the cost was 80 cents. When we divide 80 cents by 25, we get 0.032 dollars, or about 3.2 cents per cup. We've also provided that for cups of sugar, ice cubes, and lemons for some of the items so that you can see how we came up with that. Did you get the same answers? If not, work through the math and see if you can adjust yours. And so using the following formula to calculate the rest, we can say that unit cost will become the letters UC for your ingredients. Since we have a quantity price, let's have the letters QP stand for quantity price of your ingredients, such as cups, lemons, sugar, or ice. And let's let U, the letter U, be the number of units in that particular quantity. So the general formula is going to be UC is equal to QP divided by U. The next step is to determine how many pitchers we're going to need of lemonade. In the game, you have potential customers. Let's say that you think you will have 70 potential customers. We'll call that PC. If you plan to serve 20 cups per pitcher, that's CPP for cups per pitcher. How many pitchers do you need? Well, the answer is found by dividing the number of potential customers by the number of cups you can serve per pitcher. So we have the number of pitchers is equal to PC divided by CPP. We substitute 70 for the potential customers, and then we substitute the number 20 for the number of cups per pitcher, so that we find that the number of pitchers will be equal to 70 divided by 20, or 3.5. Now, since we won't make half a pitcher, let's round up to 4 pitchers, and that's the quantity that we will make for that particular day. Now, according to the Lemonade Stand Game help file, when there is no ice in the cups, then the number of cups that we can make per pitcher is 12. 3 ice cubes per cup gets you up to about 20 cups a pitcher. So we can simply multiply the number of ice cubes per cup, we'll call that CPC, cubes per cup, times the number of cups per pitcher, and then multiply that times the number of pitchers that needed to discover the number of ice cubes that we need. We can write the formula this way. I stands for ice is equal to CPC times CP times P. And so we substitute the numbers. We have 3 cubes per cup times 20 cups times 4 pitchers. So we know that we need 240 ice cubes. The next thing to figure out is how we're going to calculate our net revenue per day. Well, now that we have determined how many pitchers we need, and we've figured out the number of cups we will serve per pitcher, we can now go on to calculate the number of lemons, cups of sugar, and the ice in the cups that we need. So let's give some variable letter names to each of our ingredients. Let's say that L stands for lemons per pitcher, S stands for cups of sugar per pitcher, I stands for ice cubes per pitcher, and C stands for cups per pitcher. In fact, as we've seen, we have to sort of figure out how much ice we need in order to know how many cups we need. And so that's an interaction that changes as we move along, affected by the weather. But for now, let's put that particular additional variable, the weather, aside and put together a basic formula to calculate daily net revenue. The basic table used to make these calculations could look something like this. For example, PPC is price per cup. COC is the cost of cups. That CO will stand for cost in all examples. COS is the cost of sugar. COL is the cost of lemons. COI is the cost of ice. And then we're going to have CS, which stands for cups sold. And then we're going to have daily net profit or loss by the letters DNPL. Using the above information, how can we develop a formula to calculate daily net profit or loss? So make sure that you've written all these various sorts of symbols down, and we'll use those in our next step. Are you ready? Here we go. Stop the video and take some time to discuss with some others and look at how we can develop the formula to calculate the number of pitchers and the number of ice that we need. Use the table of variables that you've been provided, and working with some friends, see if you can come up with that formula to calculate daily net profit or loss. You make a stab at that, do the best you can, and then we'll come back and we'll walk through that process and see how you did.